Good morning. Today we'll be learning about common specimens in gynecology. This is a specimen of multiple fibroid.
This is the specimen of uterus which has come with a complaint of lump in abdomen. It's showing that the uterus is cut open and multiple fibroids are visible. So these are the walled appearance of the fibroid, and this is the cavity of the uterus which can be is seen on both the sides. So there are intramural, submucous, subserous fibroids which are all visible.
This is the back of the specimen.
This is a posterior aspect of the same specimen. The adnexa are removed, which are visible, and the rest it is a big sized uterus with multiple fibroid.
Now in this specimen you can be asked about what are the causes, what is the operation done. So the surgery done here is total abdominal hysterectomy with bilateral salpingo-oophorectomy. Then what could be the probable age of the patient? So we say it is more than 45 as both adnexa are removed. What could have been her probable complaints? So this could have been menorrhagia, congestive dysmenorrhea, heaviness in lower abdomen, and pain in lower abdomen. Then, once you say menorrhagia as a complaint, what are the causes of menorrhagia in a case of fibroid? So these are increased surface area, increased vascularity, estrogen dominance, and lack of endometrial contractility. Now, these could be some of the few questions asked. This is a specimen showing that the uterus is completely distorted. So, our specimens are near about this, in which all the types of fibroids are present. Then
This is a specimen of uterus, cervix, which is cut open, and it is showing a big intramural fibroid, and with the walled appearance you can also see that there are some cystic areas and there is highly degeneration which is setting in. These are the compressed normal wall of the cervix of the uterus. So this is a specimen of fibroid uterus, and the patient might have come with menorrhagia, lump in abdomen, heaviness.
what are the complications of fibroid? Degenerations are most common. It is first the hyaline, this is followed by cystic. There can be necrosis, infection, sarcomatous changes which are very rare. There can be torsion of the pedicle, then hemorrhage.
This is specimen of uterus, cervix, adnexa of both the sides. The uterus is cut open from the anterior surface. The wall of the uterus is thick. There is fibroid on the wall as it is apparent. Now we will go to the posterior surface. This is a posterior surface, and you can appreciate this is the ovary, this is the other ovary. So the patient is AUBL. This is a posterior surface. This is a specimen of uterus with cervix. Uterus is showing multiple fibroid. This is the walled appearance of the multiple fibroids on the uterus, and the patient might have come with lump in abdomen, heaviness in abdomen, menorrhagia, severe dysmenorrhea, and the patient got hysterectomy with bilateral salpingo-oophorectomy got done.
This is the specimen where the cervix, where there is a fibroid or at the cervix. So this is a cervical fibroid, and this you can see that the surface is black and degenerated. So the patient might have complaints of recurrent bleeding, menorrhagia, metrorrhagia, dysmenorrhea, and this is also called as the aborting fibroids. And here hysterectomy has been done, total hysterectomy has been done. This is a specimen of intramural fibroid, and this is becoming submucous. Here you can see that the uterus is uniformly enlarged, and it is a wall of the uterus which is thick. These are some areas, blackish areas. These could be islands of inside the wall. So it appears to be a specimen of adenomyosis.
This is specimen of uterus with a intramural submucous fibroid which is compressing, distorting the lumen of the uterus, and here there is a cyst, and this is a dermoid cyst of the ovaries. As you can see, some concretions, some here, and soft tissue material. So this is a specimen where the patient is having fibroid uterus and dermoid of the ovary. Total hysterectomy with bilateral the ovary can be seen of this side also. So hysterectomy with bilateral salpingo-oophorectomy has been done.
Now, what are the characteristics of a dermoid cyst? Usually it is unilateral, 10 to 12 centimeters in diameter, and has a long pedicle. It contains hair, which is very diagnostic feature. There can be sebaceous material, bone, teeth, cartilage. Now, what is the origin of this tumor? This arises from the totipotent cells in primitive ovary. It is a benign teratoma. It has all the elements, that is the ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. What is the treatment of a dermoid cyst? The treatment is removal, that is unilateral salpingo-oophorectomy is advocated. What is the rate where this tumor can become malignant? So it is less than 10%. It is less than 2% in all ages. Now, but in the present case, you are seeing that the patient is having a fibroid of the uterus and is also more than 45 years of the age. Therefore, total abdominal hysterectomy with bilateral salpingo-oophorectomy is done. This is again specimen of dermoid. You can see that so many soft tissue materials along with the hairs, and here only cystectomy has been done.
This is a specimen of uterus with adnexa both the sides. The uterus is cut open. The left ovary is showing fibroid, it's showing a solid tumor, and the other ovary appears apparently normal. Now we will show you the posterior surface. You can appreciate that this is the anterior surface. This is a round ligament anteriorly, and the ovary is lying posteriorly. The uterus is only bulky, and this ovary appears to be enlarged. As you can see here, the tube is all stretched. These are the ovary.
So what are the most common ovarian cysts? Mucinous cyst adenoma, serous cyst adenoma, Brenner's tumor, dermoid cyst, endometrioid tumors, and clear cell tumors. So our tumors appears like a solid tumor. It could be a fibroma or could be a Brenner.
This is a specimen of ovarian cyst which is showing altered color, could have undergone torsion, and the fimbrial ends can be seen here, and we'll just move the specimen off, where you can see that the tube is stretched on, the tube is here stretched on this specimen. So, salpingo-oophorectomy.
Now, what are the clinical characteristics of ovarian cyst in gross uh, on a specimen or when you're doing a laparotomy? So, these are usually unilateral, the malignant are bilateral. These are benigns are mobile, here malignant fixed. These are cystic, they are solid, the surface is smooth, surface is irregular. There could be ascites, there is no ascites. In malignancy, ascites could be present. The benigns grow slow, the malignant grow rapid. These are younger, these are older people. Nodules in pouch of regularity is absent and could be present in malignant. So, grossly, what you see is unilateral, smooth, cystic, unilateral. On a laparotomy, the gross findings could be ascites, hemorrhagic ascites, exophytic growths on the surface are absent, and here in malignancy it could be present. Adhesions are absent and benign could be present. The cut section is cystic or maybe only having fluid filled, and here there are solid and hemorrhagic areas. So that is how you differentiate grossly benign from a malignant cyst.
This is an ovarian cyst, and as you can appreciate that there is a part of the tube and some tissue also removed along with it. It's a specimen of small size uterus with the cervix. Most probably it's a postmenopausal uterus and a vaginal hysterectomy might have been done.
If you could understand, please subscribe, drop a like, and share. Thank you.